Hi everyone, I hope that you are doing fabulous today. Welcome in and welcome back. So we're just moving right along day by day. I hope that you're doing well. Happy birthday, happy anniversary, and all of that. My name is Shannon Hensley. If you are new, I look at a lot of crime on this channel. We look at it from a spiritual point of view and why it's here spiritually. We're not a religious channel. Could come across real heavy that way. I do incorporate the scripture because it's written upon my heart, and I keep the commands of God. And so happy Feast of Trumpets to those of you all who are from the Hebraic faith, because I am. And I honor Yehovah, and I appreciate him. And so I have the shofars blowing in the background as well. So anyway, let's see what's going on. We were tracking some big energy yesterday. The Most High was bringing out some big stuff. So let's see what's going on. All praise, glory, and honor to the Most High. He has brought provision for me, and I was kind of iffy about something that actually came through, and I was just like, last night I just danced before the Most High and just said whatever is going to be, because I'm always iffy about something that I can't really talk about, just personal something. And I just began to praise the Most High anyway, and I just danced before him in this room, and woke up this morning, and he's just beautiful to me and just comfort my heart. So I just give him a shout out, praise, glory, and honor to the Most High God. And those of you who are standing in faith for things in your life, whatever that thing is, if you just put your trust on the Most High God, he'll come through for you. He's so faithful. He's just been so faithful. So anyway, let's see. What do you want to talk about today, Most High God? Let's grab a scripture to start with. What do you want to bring out here? Yehovah Elohim. 3 of them came out. Hopefully I can read it. It says that with the merciful, thou wilt show thyself merciful. And with the upright, you'll show yourself upright. And with the pure, thou wilt show thyself pure. And with the froward, thou wilt be ready to contend. And the afflicted people, thou wilt save. But thine enemies are upon the haughty to bring them down. And so how are we going to show up? God's going to meet you the same way. He's even. He's even. But if you're going to be forward and perverse, he is ready and on it to contend against that kind of stuff. And you and I are supposed to be just like our Father in heaven. And so he teaches our hands how to war. And, somebody going to be upright to you. You be upright always, regardless. Even if you have to contend, you're doing it for upright purposes is why you're doing it, according to what God says that you should do within a matter. Ecclesiastes 8:8. I keep getting a bunch of 8s on the channel. It's just amazing. I just noticed the 8s there. It says, there is no man that has power over the spirit to retain the spirit. Neither has he power in the day of death. There is no discharge in that war. Neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to wickedness. And some people want to hide things because they fell down. They won't look up. There's perverseness around something, and I think I'm going to have to cover it with another one, and I'm going to rescue myself out of another wickedness, and it don't work that way with God Almighty. It don't. And so Psalms 2:10-12 is also coming out. It says, be wise now, therefore, O ye kings. Be instructed, you judges of the earth. Serve Yehovah with fear. The beginning of our wisdom is to serve and to have fear of God. If you don't have any fear, reverential fear, and also this terrifying, oh my gosh, because just like that, he can do whatever he wants. He's God. Then you don't have no wisdom on the inside of you. Understanding is to leave evil, God says. So do you have wisdom and do you have understanding? Do you fear God and do you leave evil? That's what God says brings wisdom and understanding. So he's talking to leadership and kings, or you being in some type of kingship position, to serve Yehovah with fear and to rejoice with trembling. It says, kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and you perish in the way when his wrath is kindled but just a little. It says, blessed are all they that put their trust in Yah, Yehovah. So hopefully you have your trust in the Most High God. There is no other way. And he will stretch you and test you by his word if you really are trusting in him. Let's get started. So good word. So God says, if you're not kissing the sun, and you're going to kindle his anger in just a little of it, then there's perishing out here. And God just said that you ain't going to be able to, you're not going to be able to be discharged from that. To retain the spirit, neither hath he any power in the day of death. And if you take God off, and you don't want to kiss the sun. What we just read about, so let me go back. I read Psalms 19 on my other platform the other day, which was going in and talking about the actual sun. And there is something to that because it keeps time for us. And there are specific times and seasons and things that God says forever for his people to meet with him. And so to kiss God and to kiss his children are called his son, okay? When they were in Egypt and they were having that, conflict with Pharaoh, he told Pharaoh, I'm going to kill your firstborn son because you're touching my son, which was Yisrael. And so it's huge with God. People are angry at God because he has a specific people in the earth realm that are supposed to be ruling and reigning for upright righteousness. We don't think we're nothing. We're servants of God. We're his children of God. We have a duty before the master, before our Father, to rule and reign for righteousness' sake. God says when righteousness is in ruling, people rejoice, but people aren't rejoicing. Look all over the world. That says a lot. So God says if there's wicked people in ruling, then it's all around us on every side and people hide. And we've seen a lot of that all over the world. And so God is addressing headship out here over and over and over on the channel. And so he says to be wise and to fear God with trembling, because just like that, he could just lay low a nation. And we're seeing that kind of stuff. We're seeing all kinds of people's place of living where they once got up every single day and did their everyday thing. It's exploded and everything else. And let's not get so prideful here in our country or your country and think that God never did that to me. Well, he will if you don't kiss the sun. And so in Psalms 19, I was reading, he was talking about the literal sun, but then he went right into the law of God, which is perfect. The law of God is called perfect. It's called the truth. The commandments are pure and clean, okay? And so for, you and I to look at things the way God tells us to look at things, his ways are not our ways. And some people are violating God's children. And so he will adopt you because he's the father to the fatherless. And he said last night when I was reading, pick a side. So either bully God's kids and God's going to get up in your face and show you the biggest bully of them all, and you don't touch my kid. Because somebody yesterday came out in wording that somebody sets up in a high place, they don't think their kid has to pay for something. Well, and somebody is touching God's children with that energy, and everybody else that's underneath that big shot that thinks they're big shot somewhere. Because they are using connections to get them out of a situation, but they are putting their kid above everybody in the whole entire universe. And God don't work that way. God's fair and even. And he said, you show up merciful, I'll show up merciful with you. But something's perverse about you being biased, because God's not biased, whoever that person is. Or maybe you are being biased as well, and something's wrong with somebody around you that's done something wrong, but you won't look at it because you got some type of feeling about it or something. And our feelings get us in trouble. We weigh by the truth. The scales, I think we're in Libra right now, and the scales are here, even spiritually in the heavens. The sun's in that right now where justice is at. And God says, if they're uneven, it's abominable to me, he says. So Just wanted to bring that out. There's the sun right there. Just wants to show itself. I love the Most High. All right, let's see. What are you going to bring out here, Most High? We have the Queen of Wands, very passionate individual, very spiritual individual, go-getter, and you showing up like this in all uprightness in your spirituality, touching heaven, being a son or a daughter of the Most High God's beautiful. If she's in the negative, she's a hothead ditch, and God would call her a ditch in Scripture. She'll jump in bed. She's a very promiscuous individual in the negative of her energy, thinking that she can throw her looks around to get what she wants and stuff like that. Very foul individual. Here in the negative of the energy, we also have the Nine of Cups. This is some type of a wish that somebody has today, or you're going to get a wish fulfillment if you're in the upright. The Wheel is out here. Could go either way. Some type of traveling could be here. Foreign people, foreign places. Go back to the Wheel. This is the Yod, which is the arm of authority, the first letter of God Almighty's name as well. And so there's consequences with this coming out, because the Wheel goes either way. If it goes backwards and somebody's exaggerating, that's all they do is exaggerate. This is scattering energy. This is hurricanes. This is whirlwinds, tornadoes, anything like that. We just had something like that really big, which I send love and light out to those people who have lost homes and families and stuff like that. But the Wheel's coming out here, and this is positive in the upright of this. All right, we have the Hierophant. So this is God's name. The Yod and the Hay is coming out here. If you're new, I have a video down below and I'll show you the whole name of God in the tarot and the beautiful protection that you have inside of his name, and the OMG, you better run outside of his name if you're not in there. The Yod and the Hay, because it's a great and terrible name. All right, and so for some of you all, somebody's husband's here. The ninth house goes back to the husband, and the Yod is also called our husband as well. The second house, somebody has something. This is perception, and this is having is the mottos here. This bank systems and stuff, and this go back to fortune. So all the silver and the gold belongs to God. And so if you stole something, you did something nasty out here, God's coming after you. You better be wise within something here. And somebody's thinking that they're going to relieve themselves from some wickedness to deliver. And God says that those who are given to wickedness will not be delivered by their wickedness. So it's a really big bad thing for God to have to say, my name's out here, so you better watch out. You better be wise. You could die in the way. God's anger would be out here. Really, he brought his name out here, folks. So anyway, is here. Your breath is here with the hay. Okay, this is about getting a download and seeing a great sight, and a type of a something is out here. We also have a liar, a deceiver, a cheater, a thief is out here. Ain't good. And somebody's in some type of wickedness out here. And yesterday we had great big two people doing something. And they were trying to come back and get in somewhere and do something. So they're secretly, physically exchanging, or two people are going to have to get their balance. Or if you're in the upright, to get some type of stupid idiot out of the way because you know that they are guilty for something, then you're going to get something done out here. This making decisions, okay? And then the Knight in shining armor. Okay, there could be a little bit, so there are two people cards out here. And something very passionate between whatever this is, with either you cheating, so this somebody's husband's out here attached to something going on with the Wheel coming out here, and the Hierophant being a marriage. And there's something with money with it because it's something physical being exchanged here. So it's still here because somebody was trying to get into somebody's house to sign something, or they did, or they were coming back to do it again, or there's some forgery nonsense out here. This can be a police card. You have spiritual people out here with the Hierophant and stuff like that, the Fool. There's a word that goes to a miracle out here. Now, God is a miracle working God. He works miracles in heavens and in the earth for his people. And this is knowledge. There's knowledge out here on something. So, and this is the Tav, which is to sign a signature. And so somebody's got something that is still signed, a covenant. It represents a covenant. It represents a mark. Somebody could have marked just a mark on something as well, with some type of thievery to it. in a situation, but this is knowledge, perception, and a revelation is out here today for the collective energy. And there is a clean slate, and we are in a clean slate and a new beginning, a new cycle with the new moon and stuff like that that's taking place. Okay, so this is the energy that we're looking at. Let's see what's in the hidden space with these two people and what they're doing, or if you're upright, what you're doing about it, if you have a revelation of something. Okay, this person came out in the reverse, and he jumped over between the, jumped on the Hierophant and the wheel. And so this is somebody, this is a professional card. And so he's not upright because he came out in the reverse. So somebody's this would be a husband to somebody. So this suggests that somebody is married. They are in a position somewhere, in a professional position of some sort. They are masculine in the way they either come across, or they're masculine in their body. It's also a card of being logical. And so if you are, then you're going to have to be logical. This person is not logical in the reverse like that. So he is involved in some type of secret physical exchanging of something going on. So if there's something interracial out here, whether this person's upright or not, I don't know, because all my cards are upright, but he just specifically jumped out like that. Then there's something out here going on. There are two people out here doing something though. And so I guess if they're doing this with that energy there, then they're both in cahoots with something, and then she'd come out in the reverse like that. Now, if you're upright, you're upright. We're tracking somebody that's not, or a couple people that are not. But it would be a darker skinned person, because we have light skinned people and dark skinned people. So whether you are black or white or Indian or Asian or any white skinned or dark skinned Mexican, I don't know, whatever you are, it's just put it where it goes for your story. But somebody's, or a couple of people are not in the upright out here. So the Knight of Cups, if somebody is upright in this energy, and somebody, because there is knowledge out here of something going on, and this is an undercover agent out here, then somebody knows about the secret physical exchanging. But this Knight will tell you anything that you want to hear in the reverse of its energy. They'll agree with anything you say, which should be a great big freaking red flag. They won't think for themselves. They're just going to agree with you, because they're in there to try to do something where your stuff is, because we have a thief out here. Somebody's lying somewhere. Show me more information. So something about this darker colored gentleman that's in the reverse of its energy lost their mind. All right, this is like getting grounded. This could be an earth sign. It could be a strong Taurus if it jumped over here on the Hierophant. It don't have to be, and a lot of times I won't say that, but it is an earth sign energy card specifically. And so we do have earth out here. We have, if I want to look at it, you've got Sagittarius energy out here, and you've got a Taurine energy out here attached to something that's going on. So again, if you're upright, you're upright. If you're not, you're not. This is somebody's not grounded. It's very sacrificing energy when it comes. It's like the Hangman card. It is about getting grounded. Somebody's not. It represents your mind. Somebody don't have their freaking mind out here on something. We have the clouds also came out. This is distorting things. This is confusion. Somebody's lost their freaking mind. Somebody's dealing with somebody who's cray-cray out here. Or a couple of people are cray-cray. Or your husband's cray-cray. You could be upright and thinking you're doing something secretly for whatever the lie that they gave you to do. I don't know. You put the pieces out here, but there are two people out here doing some nonsense out here in a really big way. Show me more information. So the white gentleman card jumped out, and so he jumped out in the upright. And so specifically today, we've got this energy out here around something. And whether the white female is upright or not, I don't know. But that showed three people then involved in something. So also a professional energy. Somebody's lost their mind. This is your partner card. These work partners, and they're work partners. And you need to check your work partner out today then. Or they are checking you out because they know something. They've been distorting things because they're distorted. What's at the bottom of the deck? Plots. Well, there have been plots around some stuff, and this is like, how do I escape? They ain't gonna escape. God says that there is no There's no discharge for you. If you are given to wickedness, it's not going to deliver you. And if you've ticked God off, there's perishing in the way. So whatever road that you try taking your wickedness, God said last night when I was reading, that little player came out, and I heard him behind my back said the person's going to die. He said they're going to die. So they're fixing to die in something spiritually and naturally because they're given to some type of nonsense out here. You're never going to get out of this, whoever you are, because you won't come to the truth because something perverse is out here. Show me more information. Two very masculine energies are out here today around something going on. Somebody wearing a poker face. Look what came out with it. Somebody's lost their mind. Both of the crazy cards come out. They're confused or distorted. They don't have their mind. So who this person, this gentleman is, they're a mental case. And you need to be careful. Some of you all. And so whoever your partner is light-skinned. I don't know who you are. Somebody got a poker face on. Somebody. You can flip-flop those if you want. I don't know what if it's your story. It's your story. But something's around this energy. I don't believe they just come out for no reason, for why ever it's there. Just keep your eyes open, okay? And so something's up with this. Somebody knows that they're lying, and that there's at least two people exchanging things out here. And it still suggests somebody setting up in a high position with the Most High God's name being out here because authority is out here real big with the Hierophant and the will. The letter Z is coming out. Angry. All right, well, like I said, that Queen of Wands, if she's in the reverse, then she would be an angry something. And if the fool has anger rest in his bosom. And the fool I'll have to return, God says, because it's caught up in folly. And so the fool is connected to like dog energies. God says, like when a dog vomits, it's got to go eat it. Because somebody's in some wickedness. If they're trying to relieve themselves by more wickedness, ain't going to happen. You're going to die. Whoever I'm talking to. Even just warning for future events. If somebody wants to do something, you haven't went into your prayer closet or weighed something out rightly, you get involved in something, you're going to have to confess it, or you're going to keep going back to vomit, and eventually you'll die out of something. Somebody's in trouble out here. Says the things that which are impossible with men are possible with God. And somebody feels like something's impossible out here, then somebody thinks that there's something impossible. But God's saying that there's God's arm is out here to protect something that's going on. Somebody would be very dangerous out here in what this stuff is about. The letter Z, there is something about travel, because this is the Chariot card, is the letter Zion, and this is a cutting implement, which represents, it's like a crop cutter type of energy, but it's just something that is affecting a large scope of an area, is what it can represent, especially with the will being out here and that scattering energy. And so something huge is just out here that's got a consequence to it. And so the letter Z being the Chariot is also self-control, and somebody angry out here. Somebody's angry. You're angry at God because you're caught up in something that you chose to do. Okay? Some type of in love and truthful energy. So somebody yesterday was around that energy. So it's either going to go either way. Either there's two people that are in love and it's truthful, and the third party's around it being some kind of crazy, whoever that party is. It could be your ex, could be a family member that don't like it or whatever. Or somebody's truthfully in love and the other person's playing you. It can only go a couple different ways. So for any given person's case, if you're keeping commandment and so is another person, and there's a connection there, then this ain't your story. It was somebody's story, however it's going. So a lot of people have a lot of jealousy around some things as well. So whatever this is, there is something about a love situation kept coming out really strong yesterday. All right. And so there are two gentlemen and a feminine out here. And so I guess somebody's done something around the matter, and now something's out of control. And now somebody's dug a pit so freaking big. They're in it real bad. And they angry. And somebody, I guess, that is standing with God feel like, oh my God, this thing's just impossible. It's not. God's saying It's not impossible with him for whatever you got to do within this matter. The letter Z also goes back to a victory. And so God's going to give you a victory if you're going to stand with him and do it his way. It says they're losing everything. And they're angry about it because they're whatever that means for you. It's because somebody's in the wrong somewhere. It's because somebody won't admit something because my title and people see me and I'm going to look like whatever. And you're going to look like whatever anyway, because that's your, those are your thoughts of what people are going to think. People are going to think it anyway, because your worst fear is going to come upon you, like the book of Job says. We fear no evil. You get up and be honored by saying, I made a mistake. And I'm just as human as you. And I fell down. And you can either accept me or don't. And I'm taking full responsibility. And if you don't, then that's between you and God. And he'll do something around you, or you'll have to understand with my shoes that I'm in. And but people won't do that because that's degrading to people to have to humble themselves. But God said, you humble yourself, he'll lift you up. But somebody won't. Or somebody's already just lost their mind out here. They're dangerous at that point. Somebody is trying to stand in the way of a connection. Okay, well, it's out here. Somebody thinks there is no love connection with the cuckoo. You just kook. Why would somebody think somebody would want to kook? I don't know. People need deliverance. There's an Aries specifically coming out. There are more than two people involved. It says a group is out here. We know because all those court cards kept coming out real strong the other day. Pick about 3 or 4 more cards most times. Stubborn. Well, stubbornness is a sin of witchcraft to God. And so let me teach here for those of you who are brand spanking new. If you've heard me have said this before, if you're on the channel, you just have to hear me say it again, because I'm going to take every chance I can for a new person to get some knowledge. If you may think, well, I'm not any kind of witchcraft. I'd never light a candle and open up a realm of a demon, because I understand that that's demonic stuff. But with God, he says stubbornness is as the sin of witchcraft. So you automatically, in your stubborn, refuse to do what's right. And you harden your neck. First of all, you're going to fall at once. And you sitting there in that energy like that automatically does something very spiritual around your world, and everybody else connected to you now have to do something, in a warfare. You have given a foothold to Satan himself in your stubbornness, with or without your approval. Your stubbornness gave approval to open up an energetic realm to allow demons to come in and begin to operate around a situation. It's witchcraft. It's demonic. Stubbornness to God is as the sin of witchcraft, because he wants you to pursue peace. He wants you to acknowledge him in all your ways. He wants you to prefer your brethren or your sister. He wants you to humble yourself and you and I be even and fix things, but somebody won't. Out of their jealousy or out of something that they've done, or out because now their title and all that kind of stuff. This person's a lost freaking cause somewhere. And God said, you're going to die. And it's appointed unto you to die in this matter, because you will not stop. That's an appointment. And there's no discharge out of it. There is no discharge in that war that you're fighting here with this thing. There's no discharge. You're out here. Your breath is out here. Something about somebody's grandfather came out yesterday. So there's an older person that kept coming out yesterday attached to something going on. It says, he that hastens to be rich. Well, there is money and stuff out here. And they're a thief. 7 swords out here. They're a thief. God's never going to endorse anything that you do. A curse goes to a thief's house is what God says. You don't give it back. My prayer is that your hands get amputated. That somebody before you leave the earth come and have to wipe your rear end for the shame of what you're trying to get away with. And then you're going to the abyss. You're a lost cause. Somebody's a turd out here. They're excrement to God. He that hastens to be rich has an evil eye, and considers not That poverty is going to come upon him. You talk. The real poverty is your soul being gone. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world but to lose your soul? The real profit is the riches that really are found on the inside of you and I. Because we walk by faith and not by sight. All the riches in the world, they belong to Daddy, and he already promises that he's got a covenant with us, and he will establish that covenant with that wealth when you are walking with him correctly. Don't come any other way. Any other way is greed, and that's the root of evil. And somebody got it out here. And they're not going to escape this nonsense because they cray in their mind. Two came up. This is the last message connected with this message. The letter B is out here. This for some of y'all, there's a baby situation connected to something, but it's also a joy rune, because the things which are impossible with man are possible with God. So God's going to get some type of a victory. The letter B in the deck is the house of Jacob, which is God's people. He said, I don't sleep or slumber over my people, keep my ways. You touch them, it's like poking me in the eye, he said. Okay? And so somebody has been crying out here, because this word goes to cry and stuff like that. And the other direction of that word is somebody's hand's been out in need. It's because somebody's been thieving on people. It's all the freak does. It's all the freak does. They're already caught up in the thievery, and they're trying to get out of it. There's no escape except through truth sets you free. But your mind, somebody's brain's already gone, their mental case out here. But this is a joy rune. And then the Urus came out. So the letter U, it is written like an N. All right. And so either one of those three letters. This is military. Somebody could have a military connection out here. And this has been a frenzy going on. It's madness out here. In the situation. This is also making progress. And so you either going to be wise, O ye kings, and fear the Most High God and get some wisdom and join the true house that's running the universe and be beautiful in the earth, or you're going to perish in the way. It's your choice. It's a real clear choice to make, but people do think that the other way looks shiny and bright, and God says at the end of that path is death, but he's not going to stand in your way. You can do whatever you want. This is an undeserving rune for somebody who's undeserving. It's bad karma coming to somebody in the negative of this energy, okay? Because they're guilty of some stuff. There's consequences out here on some stuff, and there's timing attached to some things that are going on with this matter. So anyway, all right, folks. Well, this is what come out. I'll be back later, Lord willing, and anyway, thank you for your prayers. I pray for you all as well. Shalom. Stay in peace.